proving that sometimes the greatest strength lies not in the power to intimidate, but in the courage to change before we jump back in. Tell us where you're tuning in from. And if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. The morning sun cast long shadows across Birchwood Valley's main street as Harold Bennett and Hunter make their way down the familiar sidewalk. Hunter's paw move, with practiced precision, each step carefully measured as he guides his companion past the morning bustle of their small Montana town. Margaret's voice rings out from her diner's doorway. "Morning, Harold. Coffee's fresh, and I've got those whole wheat biscuits you like." Harold's weathered face breaks into a warm smile. His unseeing eyes crinkle. At the corners, as he turns toward her, voice sounds tempting. "Margaret, Hunter's been extra attentive on our walk today, thinks I. Can't tell when he's trying to steer me toward your kitchen." Hunter maintains his professional demeanor, but his tail gives a slight whack. At the mention of his name, a passing truck backfires, and Hunter's ears instantly prick up, his body subtly shifting into a protective stance before quickly relaxing, a glimpse of his military training. That few notice well come on in. Then Chief Grant's already at his usual table, talking about some motorcycle club that's been spotted, heading this way inside the diner. The aroma of coffee and fresh-baked pastries fills the air. Harold's cane stays folded as Hunter guides him to his regular booth. The German Shepherd's nails click precisely on the linoleum floor, navigating between tables with expertise. "Chief," Grant's deep voice carries across the diner. "Harold, good to see you. How's the work on that rocking chair? Coming along slower than it used to be, Thomas. But my hands still know their way around wood. Hunter's gotten good at fetching the right tools, though he still thinks my sanding could use more work." The chief's laugh is warm but carries an undercurrent of concern. "Listen, Harold, you heard about these bikers coming through the Iron Wolves MC. They've been causing trouble in some of the neighboring towns." Harold's fingers trace the rim of his coffee cup. "Town survived its share of trouble before, Thomas. Besides, I've got a pretty good early warning system right here. H's down to Hunter's head. The morning continues with its usual rhythm, but there's a tension in the air that even Harold can sense as he and Hunter leave the diner. They pass Oliver's hardware store, where Harold spent decades buying supplies for his carpentry business before the accident morning. "Mr. Bennett, Lily Lou's young voice pipes up from the sidewalk. "Can I pet Hunter today? What's our rule?" Lily, Harold asks kindly. "Always ask the hand first and never pet a service dog in their vest," she recites carefully. "That's right, Hunter's working now, but maybe we'll see you at the park later when he's off duty." The sound of distant motorcycles echoes off the mountain, still miles away but growing closer. Hunter's ears twitch at the sound, but he maintains his steady pace beside Harold at the corner of Pine and Main. Harold pauses as Hunter indicates the curb. The morning air carries the scent of approaching rain, and Harold's fingers detect a slight change in the temperature. His other senses have sharpened since losing his sight, picking up nuances he never noticed before. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" Rosa, Harold calls out, recognizing the veteran center director's footsteps. Rosa Martinez approaches her clipboard tucked under her arm. "Harold, I was hoping to catch you. How's our star graduate doing?" Hunter stands perfectly still as Rosa conducts her monthly check-in. The veteran center takes special interest in their K-9 placements, particularly one with Hunter's distinguished service record. "He's been more alert than usual today," Harold notes, picking up on something in the air. "I suspect," Rosa's voice carries a note of concern. "Maybe he's sensing what everyone's talking about, these bikers. They've been through Sterling and Millbrook, left quite a mess behind you. Sound worried, Rosa. Remember who trained Hunter? He's got more combat experience than most soldiers." The conversation is interrupted by Oliver Warren hurrying over from his hardware store. "Harold, been meaning to ask, those specialty chisels you ordered years ago. Still got them? My supply is gone. Belly up, and I've got a customer looking for quality tools." Harold smiled, remembering the feel of those particular tools in my workshop, gathering dust. Hunter home. The German Shepherd smoothly adjusts, direction leading Harold toward their modest house 3 blocks away. The sound of motorcycles grows slightly louder, though still distant. As they walk, Harold reflects on how his life changed after the accident. The table saw that took his sight also took his livelihood, or so he thought. But woodworking was in his blood, and with Hunter's help, he'd found ways to continue his craft. Different, now slower, but his fingers could read grain patterns better than many eyes hold. Hunter Harold stops as he hears Dr. Sarah Lee's voice calling from the clinic doorway. "Harold, glad I caught you. Lily hasn't stopped talking about the birdhouse you're teaching her to make, but she mentioned Hunter seemed distracted during yesterday's lesson just keeping an eye on the street, Sarah. He does that. Sometimes when he senses change coming, the rumble of engines grows louder, and now conversations all along Main Street quiet momentarily before resuming in hushed tones. Hunter's posture shifts subtly, not tense but more alert. Chief Grant's patrol car rolls to a stop nearby. "Harold, maybe cut your walk short today. Head home a bit early, Thomas. I've never run from trouble even when I could see it coming. Besides, Hunter's got a sixth sense about danger. Don't you, boy?" The shepherd remains focused on his duties, but his ISS continue tracking the approaching sound more than just motorcycles now. The distinctive growl of heavily modified engines, the kind favored by motorcycle clubs. Jennifer Grant joins them, her heels clicking on the sidewalk. "Harold, the council meeting's been moved up. Given the circumstances, politics was never my strong suit. Jennifer, that's why we elected you to the council trust. You'll do what's right for the town." The first waves of thunder roll in from the mountains, almost masking the growing roar of engines, almost Hunter's training shows and how he positions